Good morning, y'all. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Welcome to the channel. All right, so it's early, I know, but we're here. We're going to be talking today about how to move on or detach because I get this question so much every day. How do I move on? How do I attach or detach? I'm sorry, because you're already attached. Okay. How do you detach and move on? Well, let's talk about it. Are y'all here this morning? Are y'all here early? Where am I? Okay, I see some of y'all coming over here from TikTok, sprinkle, sprinkle. So, how to move on, how to detach. A lot of y'all ask me this every day. And I've lived a long time and I've known a lot of people. I have a lot of experience. So I'm going to tell you what I've witnessed and what I know. I've witnessed many women detach and move on by getting super busy. Y'all ever heard like when someone breaks up or something like that? They start a whole nother life, it seems almost. They get like super glowed up, they get super busy, they start doing all the stuff that they weren't doing when they were with a person. So they get super busy and they start focusing on themselves again and doing the most. Okay. And they start to really look good and they start to really thrive. Like they weren't thriving in the relationship or the relationship was focused on a man or another person, right? So they get themselves back and they have a glow up and they stay pretty busy because, when you start a new chapter in your life, it's not about getting over the past. It's about creating what you're trying to get to next. You know what I'm saying? So you're not thinking about what you left behind. You're thinking about what you're getting ready to receive, what you're getting ready to have, and what you're getting ready to do. That way, it's not as if you lost anything. It's if you're about to gain everything, and you have to prepare for it. Okay, this is usually what it is. So if you look at things from a different perspective, you don't have to detach or move on. You have to prepare for what's better, and you have to glow up and get to the next chapter of your life because that one is over. Okay. It's like reading a book. Once you're done with that chapter, you got to move on to the next chapter and see what's ahead. You're not supposed to be reading, going backwards in the book. You know what I'm saying? And how to detach is to definitely attach to something more positive that's more lucrative. Okay. Because you're not going to think about something that you're, trying to detach from if you're attached to something that's beneficial. So if you attach to something, a lot of people attach to maybe like a new workout plan, a new glow up, a new set of friends, a new lease on life or whatever. Some people have a new move, or if you're leaving or moving out, you got a new place to decorate. Focus on all the positive things. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people are not focused on those things, and they're focusing on what they no longer have and what's no longer there. And when you focus on stuff like that, it doesn't do you any good. So focus on something that is going to give you what you are looking for or what you want. Because if you don't, you're going to be stuck in the past, and everybody's going to be moving forward except for you. You know what I mean? It's not hard because it's done. What's done is done. And y'all need to realize this. Repeat after me. What's done is done. Move on. Okay. A lot of y'all are trying to stay in one place. You can't stay in one place too long if it's not beneficial to you, because then you'll start moving backwards. If you stay in one place that's not beneficial to you, you're going to go backwards, and that's not what you want in life. Okay. Don't get comfortable. Don't move backwards. What's done is done. What's next? Okay. What's next? Whenever y'all watch celebrity news and whenever y'all watch this and that, y'all are always hoping, whoever is going through this and going through that, what's next? What's next? What's next? Do this, do that. I see y'all in the comments, and a lot of people's like social media, like famous people, y'all are trying to push them to the next level so fast. What's next? What are you going to do now? But when it comes to your own lives, you want to stay stuck in the past, going backwards, looking for something, to be upset about, and you can't detach. But if this was somebody in the public eye, y'all would literally be giving them the advice to move forward and move on and forget that person and do this and do that and do the most. And y'all, so make sure you understand that about yourself. Okay. Make sure you put that same energy towards you, because people could get in the comments all day long on, celebrity gossip, but they can't really apply that same energy to their own lives. And I feel like if you're doing all that, you need to be able to do the same thing and follow your own exact advice. Because a lot of times y'all be sitting over there crying over a dusty, but then mad when someone, famous did the same stuff y'all did. Be calling them this, and that, but y'all in the same situation or worse. Thank you, Sarah. How can you detach from someone who invited you to live with them in NYC, flew me there, and then freak out 5 days later? I wanted to move on. You never move across the country or anywhere for a man. That's number one. They come to you. Women are about luxury and comfort. If you're not in control of the situation, as far as comfort is concerned and a living arrangement, you don't travel across the world for a man, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You never travel across the world for a man. Okay? They travel across the world for you, or you make sure your name is on the property if you're traveling across the world. Okay? Sprinkle, sprinkle. We are too smart for that. It is 2025. We don't believe people at their word anymore. They have to earn our trust. We don't give it to them blindly. And if you don't live by those rules, things like this are going to continue to happen. You don't trust people blindly. Before you do anything, make sure your name is on everything or they come to you. The best thing you can do is learn this lesson, never repeat, and teach others not to repeat. That's the only thing you can do, because you were very desperate in this situation and now you're paying for that desperation. Okay? Always go in with the upper hand on anything. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Detach by knowing that next time you'll do better. Okay? Detach by knowing this person didn't like you anyway. Detach by knowing that this person was a liar. Detach by knowing this person is not the one and he made a fool of you. Detach. Okay? I'm not going to be on here very long today. I do have errands to run, but I will be here for a little while. Y'all attach so quickly and easy. It's sad in some cases. You know what I mean? Because it's like all your common sense goes out of the window and you start acting real dumb. And so the best way to detach is to never fully trust someone 100% in the beginning. Because if they haven't earned your trust, chances are you're not going to get very attached. You know what I'm saying? This is very important. When you make people earn your trust, you can even start now in the middle of a relationship. Stop trusting that person blindly if they have no reason for you to trust them, and make them earn it. And the less they're able to earn it, the easier it is to detach. Okay. You caught your boyfriend having porn links on his phone. What to do? It's a man. They're going to have it before, during, and after you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. That's like a man opening your phone and saying, I found shopping apps in my wife's phone or my girlfriend's phone. There's shopping apps. That's the same thing. So I don't know what y'all are talking about. Don't waste time asking questions that are silly. Okay. What if he opened up your phone and found shopping apps? What are you going to do? Men are men. That's what they do. Okay. Before, during, and after you. That's what they're going to do. If you want to stop them, take their phone and give them a flip phone. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I don't know. You can't control what men do, ladies. Just you can get their money though. Okay. You can get their money. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. The best way to move on is to have something to look forward to. So a lot of y'all, when something happens to y'all just want to be all upset and sad. Make a plan. Have something to be excited about. Go on a vacation, even if it's just a weekend getaway with your friends or whatever. But you gotta make sure you're doing the most in order to be happy when taking steps towards something different. Okay. Today is your first date with a potential provider. How to act, what questions to ask. Don't talk too much. Don't tell your life story. Lie a lot. let them talk about themselves, ask them questions about themselves, and keep asking questions about themselves. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. They don't need to know the real you. Don't tell them too much. Stay mysterious. Okay, let the mystery unfold. There you go. You just broke up with a Dusty. Good for you, ma'am. So, yes, moving on also means having better plans, things that you weren't able to do while you were in whatever relationship you were in. You need to start doing them so that you have something to look forward to and something to, be happy and thrilled about. Because a lot of times, some of y'all that are in relationships, y'all are always asking me, what if he doesn't do this? Or what if he doesn't like when I do that? Well, all the things that you couldn't do in whatever relationship that you're trying to move on from, go do them. Okay. And make yourself happy. And also, the best way to detach is to attach to a new idea, a new person, or a new hobby or task or, goal. So y'all need to do that too. And by the time you realize that things have changed dramatically, you'll be in a better position. You'll look better, feel better, and be doing better. And probably out of that last person's league. When you focus on yourself and focus on moving on and detaching, you literally elevate out of the last person's league, and they're no longer good enough for you at that point now anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like a job. When you go to the when you leave one job, your experience is increased, your salary increases, and you go on to the next and you get a higher position. Okay. This is how you have to look at moving on and detaching. You don't call your old job back every day asking, are you sure you don't miss me? Or you don't think about your old position or your old job. You're looking forward to climbing into the next level of wherever life takes you. So that's how you also need to look at relationships. People come and people go. Okay. And a lot of times y'all don't understand that. Y'all want to hang on to some Dusty that was never meant to be in your life for more than 2 weeks. Y'all want to hang on to a man that you were never even supposed to be with, but you just were stupid and made dumb decisions. So you attach to an idea, not the person, because if that person was any other person, you would feel the same way. So it's not the actual person, it's the idea of the person. It's the emotional dependency of another person. It's not them. It's just what they represent. Oh, thank you, Peppa Peach Sprinkle Sprinkle. You just ended an 11-year relationship. He was full provider, but still a dusty and kind of violent. Where there were a guy at work that has a lot of money, but he just wants to take me to bed. We only kiss, but how do I ask for money? Sprinkle, sprinkle. You mention things and make him want to do it for you, and you don't, and you act like that's the key in order to get to you. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to talk about anything else but that until that's solved. So keep bringing it up until it's solved. If he wants more of the friendship to develop or the relationship to develop, he'll solve your problem. Okay. Make sure it's a financial problem, a fake financial problem, for him to solve for real. What if your husband leaves you after 32 years of marriage for another woman, but he is denying it? What do you do? It doesn't matter. He's gone. You don't do anything, but you move on and you glow up and you go do better. Or you live in your peace and happiness and do all the things you couldn't do while you were with him. Men are going to do things all the time. You can't control them. There's nothing you can do unless there's something you could do legally. I mean, live your best life. That's the best thing I could tell you. Like, I told y'all, when I used to be a mortician, men would leave their wives while they were on their deathbed and be walking around the hospital with a whole nother woman. I don't think that women should really put all their faith in any man that they're with, because men are more animalistic creatures. They're going to go where they're able to have more lust and fulfill those lustful needs. So I feel like a lot of times y'all don't get that, and y'all think that men love like women. They do not love like women. They will follow They will follow women and leave children that they've created behind and follow other people, other women. They will do all of this stuff just because they think men think very different. Okay, they think that they're the man, everybody wants them, they're this masculine, sexual creature, and that's all that they think about most of the time. They don't think about the same stuff that women do. And the thing that men sometimes are weak around is, those type of lustful situations. But when their stuff stops working, or when they're not healthy enough to even take medication to make their stuff work, that's when they start to regret a lot of stuff. And that's when, everything is like, okay, what have I done? You know what I mean? So I would say just go live your best life. A lot of women don't realize they're actually free. You don't have to worry about another person anymore. You can literally go do whatever you want. Okay. Thoughts on no labels, no tags, no expectations other than enhance each other's peace and happiness as a vibe. Sounds very dusty. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. Sounds very stupid and dusty. Sounds like somebody's manipulating you. All right. You're 33, he's 70, you're 33, he's 67. He spent 5K since we met 2 weeks ago. No, y'all didn't do nothing. Okay, good for you. He didn't contact me for the past 24 hours, never before. Should I initiate first? He knows. No. A man chases. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Men always chase, baby. If you, I don't know how many times I got to tell y'all out of y'all pick Misha's minds. Men are supposed to approach you first. If you're desperate, fine, reach out. If you want him to chase, let him chase. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You're a 21, a 26-year-old man. Pilot wants to marry you and buy you everything. I can't look at him long because he's ugly, shorter, and unstable. Should I back out? Well, ma'am, if he's a pilot, he's going to be gone a lot. But he's only 26. But if you can't look at him long, you probably gonna need to start drinking. So I don't know. I would keep my options open because you're only 21. I'm not finna get married to nobody until I'm over the age of 25 and my brain is fully developed and I know exactly what I want. I'm not getting ready to marry nobody. So you're 21. Why would you marry somebody? You're too young. Okay, how to be mysterious. Men are always asking about me and I try to flip it on them, but they want me to do the talking. Then you start lying. Sprinkle. Thank you, Monica. You start lying, Monica. Give them something to think about that's, not true. He understands that you're saving up to move on and plan now. He's watching me more closely and making it harder. I can't cut him off immediately either until you've saved enough. Any advice? Throw him off your path and tell him you're thinking about staying and that you're doing some reflecting and thinking about it. Then he'll leave you alone. But tell him you need your space and time to think. So lie. Like I always tell y'all need to learn how to just lie. Lie. Lying will help you a lot. Okay. Okay, level up 3 member here. Attached to a great friend after losing both parents last year. Didn't realize that as part of a couple. He's a jaded dusty and I've been living with him. Time to move on. Yes, ma'am. Time to move on. Get away from the dust. Always. Dust's got to go. Thank you for being a member, though. Yes. Thank you. You said a lot of women also stay attached because they don't want to up their body count. Ma'am, if you sleep with somebody with a little PP, that don't even count. If you sleep with the same man that has a big PP 18,000 times rolling around on a mattress, that counts as 18,000 little people. If you're tested, if y'all are both well, there are some people that's been with one person a long time and their body is not the same as someone who may have been with 5 different people. You know what I'm saying? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Some of y'all be rolling around with a dusty and letting them ruin your entire body. Meanwhile, there's other women out here dating and maybe having other, encounters, but their stuff ain't messed up as much as some of y'all. Thank you, Amara. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So that don't even matter. It doesn't. Y'all could be rolling around in the bed with somebody that's messing up your entire body, giving you bladder infections, you can't pee, always got issues. Then you can have somebody that is about this little and it doesn't even count because you didn't feel nothing. Nothing even happened. It was like smaller than a tampon or something. Does that even count? Especially if it's protected. Count. Y'all be counting stuff and it don't even need to be counted. And then y'all have one person that's ruining your whole entire body, sending you to the gynecologist every other month, acting like how many body count? One body count, but then why are you always messed up, man? Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. And just because your body count low don't mean his ain't growing while he's with you. So sprinkle, sprinkle. Y'all need to stop thinking like that in those terms, because none of it matters. Okay. It's just the truth. You should lie about whatever you want to lie about, ma'am. It's up to you. Mm-hmm. If you're going to lie about something that people are going to eventually find out, then lie about something that most people lie about. Age, don't nobody care about you lying about your age. You're a woman. They're not even supposed to be asking you your age. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to understand something. Lying about a few years on your age, don't nobody care. Y'all are basically the same age if you're only lying about 2 to 5 years. Now, if you're lying about 10 to 20 years, yes, that's a problem. Y'all are so young, y'all don't even understand. Your whole entire 20s is 20s. It doesn't matter. The closer you are to 30, the closer you are to wanting a house and a marriage. That's how men think. The closer you are to 30, the closer you want a marriage and a house and a baby. The further you're from 30, the closer you're wanting to party and have fun. Okay? This is the measurement of your age. In your 40s, you trying to travel and buy property, okay? Extra property. This is how men gauge you financially as a woman. So if you're gonna lie about your age, then make sure it's worth it. A couple of years don't even matter, especially if the man is older. Don't nobody care about, oh, I'm 23. I lied and said that I was 21. Don't nobody care. Same age. You're 35, you're gonna say you're 28. Okay, but when you start wanting babies and being serious, they're gonna be like, well, you're still young. When you're 30, you can't be wanting. If you're 30 and you start to want 30-year-old things as a 25-year-old, people are going to get suspicious of you. So think about it. Said they lie about their height and net worth. I know more men lie about their height than anything else, and money, of course. I'm like, because I'm tall. So if somebody lying to me about their height, I'm gonna know because I'm tall. You ain't no 6'1". You're not no 6'2". What the heck? They be just be lying. They be 5'9", talking about they 6 foot. Sir, goodbye. Well, almost. No, that's not almost. So who cares, girl? Them men y'all are meeting online or in person that's lying to y'all. Y'all know they lying. Just get the money. You know that man who said he was 55 is really 75, girl. Just get the money. You ever had somebody lie about their age so bad it was hilarious? Especially a man. Like, sir, you shaking. You're not no 55. That was about 20 years ago. Okay. Why do you keep thinking of him when he treated you like an object? Because you don't have nobody else, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Go get somebody else and you'll be thinking about them. You ever notice that? When you're with the person that you like, you're not thinking about your ex all the time, are you? No, because you got somebody else to think about. You just need somebody to think about because you can't think about yourself. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You see? It's there's an added bonus to being obsessed with yourself. You don't need anyone else to think about. But when you're not obsessed with yourself and you actually need someone else to focus on, then you actually need to go ahead and go get another one. You need to go ahead and go get another one because you need something to focus on because you can't focus on yourself. There's nothing for you to focus on if you have nothing going on, you know? If you don't have nothing going on in your life, you don't have any goals, you don't have any plans, you don't have any businesses, you don't have any glow up plans. You're just going to look for a man to center and focus on. So if you can't stop looking for a man to center and focus on, you're going to go back to the ex and center and focus on him. You don't focus on yourself. You don't focus on your own goals. You don't focus on your life. So you focus on another man. Once you stop doing that, you won't think about him anymore. You'll be focused on something new and valuable and lucrative. Start thinking about that. Okay, the best way to detach is to attach to something different. Okay, something that it could be another person, it could be a hobby, it could be a glow up, it could be a business, but it just needs to be something different. Okay, so whatever you choose, you need to automatically attach to something new because the best way to get rid of old habits is to replace them with better habits. So that's why I'm telling y'all replace, and it's easy to detach. How do you make a man spend money on you when they first meet you on freestyle? You're starting this summer as a girl in her 20s and need help. The conversation needs to be about that you need help, but not in an irresponsible way. Like you're taking care of your fake Aunt Ethel and you don't have a lot of money to spend, so they'll pay for all your stuff when you freestyle, you see? So you just slightly talk about things and let them offer. Okay. And if they really like you, they'll offer you more. So your conversation has to include the setups to get money and for them to offer you. You have to write down a bunch of lies, a bunch of fake stories, a bunch of fake obstacles that they can solve if they're interested in you. Okay. And your conversation needs to be mixed up with all of that stuff from the start. You can't just be nice and then switch the subject all of a sudden. The subject needs to be there as soon as they arrive. You know what I mean? Like they'll be like, "Oh, hi, lady. How are you? Da da da. Oh, I just got finished visiting my aunt." You're like, "Oh, really? Yeah, my aunt Ethel." Like start off straight up with everything, and he'll think he's just having a conversation with you, but eventually it's going to lead to you needing money. But you're not ever going to ask for it because you're just telling your story and he's going to offer it to you if he likes you. He's going to pay for whatever you're trying to do at that moment, pay your tab at the bar or restaurant or whatever. But you've got to start off with the plan. You can't just switch over because it's going to seem like, okay, she was nice at first, but now all of a sudden she's asking me for money. The story and the plan didn't even lead up to it. You just switch subjects really dry. So you got to start off with the lie. You got to start off with the obstacle as part of the whole allure. Okay. All right. Start with the whole allure. Drag them in. Yes, and when you're in your 20s, everybody know you need help. Ain't no young person in their 20s super rich unless they got it inherited it or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So they already know you need money. It's not a surprise. And those of y'all who are 20 something years old and afraid to ask for money or think it's going to make you look a certain way, you're stupid. You already look that way. You're 20. Okay? Especially to older men. You already look broke. Period. Unless someone else is giving you money, they know you're not getting it like they're getting it. So it's definitely okay to ask in your 20s, darling. Even in your early 30s, especially if the man is much, much older. So y'all need to stop trying to look like y'all are too proud to ask for money or to insinuate that you need money in your 20s. They already know you ain't got it like that. You're 20 in your 20s. If I see someone in their 20s, I already automatically know I probably have more money than they do, you know? So it's not a big deal when you mention that you might need something, especially if you're in your 20s. When you're older, if you got that's when you got to bring in Aunt Ethel, because Aunt Ethel, you're doing the right thing by her, and you're giving her your fake Aunt Ethel, you're giving her, money for her bills. So now a man wants to help you, you see? So yeah, that's how you do it. Aunt Ethel is the fake aunt you fake take care of that takes your money that you need help from a man to cover your expenses now. Okay. Hello, Shira. Would you block your broke Dusty that keeps watching you on Insta story that has never done anything for you in the past? I wouldn't care because I would be thinking about something else. Like if he's not asking me for no money or bothering me, I don't really need to block anybody. I really don't care. You can block them if you want to, but why do you need my permission? No one cares. You know what I mean? Back in the old days, we didn't even think about this kind of stuff, We were just like, oh, I don't care who sees my social media. As long as they're not bothering me or asking me for money, I don't care. Like, who cares? Hey, Shira, first date Saturday, you're 33, he's 53, ask for money out of the gate or ease into it. Okay, on Ethel's story, start exactly what I just said. Sprinkle, sprinkle. The Aunt Ethel story. Look like a good person that gives and are generous to other people, and they will do the same for you. Why? Because you helped Aunt Ethel, your fake Aunt Ethel. So now you need help. Who's going to help you? Him. Sprinkle, sprinkle. There you go. Just mention it and see if he offers. It's always best to let them offer. Okay? Always best to let them offer. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. And, when you're moving on, it is great to go freestyling. It's great to get out. It's great to travel. It's great to do whatever. Because when you're moving on, you're allowing a new environment to set in, new people to come into your life, new ideas, new experiences. You can't stay around the same environment and do the same stuff with the same people and expect something different or better. You got to switch it up. Okay. Maybe even a new look. Who knows? But it does help to move on when you switch up a lot of stuff at the same time. You switch up how you look, you switch up the environments you hang out at, you switch up, maybe start getting new friends. It's literally going to help you. And you're probably going to never look back, okay? Because you're moving into a new chapter. When you move into a new chapter, it's better because you're going to meet better people because you know better. You've learned from your past, and so you can only improve. So think about it like that. You're only improving. And it'll be so much easier to let go. And all the lessons that you learn never to repeat in the future. That's very valuable as well. So you're taking valuable knowledge with you as well. And how to detach, understand whoever you left or broke up with is probably already detached and on to the next one. And you're wasting time thinking about that person because they're not really thinking too much about you unless they want something from you. You know what I mean? So best to just start over, start a new chapter, and own it, because you never know what's next. I see all these ladies online on Instagram, on TikTok, you'll see them, and all of a sudden the next they'll be gone for like a week or two, maybe a month, and then next thing you know, they got somebody way richer, nicer, on vacation. It's just like the switch up is that quick. So know your value when you start to move on and detach, because knowing your value when you move on or detach from a person takes you in a whole nother direction than someone who doesn't know their value. You know what I mean? So understand that. Knowing your value will take you in an entirely different direction than a woman who doesn't know her value when it's time to move on or detach. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said, why are men here? Maybe they're gay, man. There's a lot of gay men in here. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. So it's okay. Gay men are welcome here. We don't discriminate. Y'all welcome in. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I mean, a lot of gay guys like my channel, and I talk to a lot of gay guys in my DMs, and they always asking me for advice. They love my TikToks and my Instagram reels. You say you gay and dealing with a dusty too? Exactly. There's dusties in all types of relationships, not just straight relationships. Shoot. Um, you heard some women comment their provider husbands watch Shira. Hilarious. You got in what? What if you can't do no contact? Then you're a pygmisha. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Get a tattoo that say pygmisha. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I don't look. When I was younger, there was no such thing as a term called no contact. We just called it ignoring and minding our business and finding some new business. That's what we called it. We're just ignoring you and we're going to be doing something else better. Okay. What's all this no contact stuff? Don't nobody care. You can name it whatever you want. Ignore the person and move on. Like you have to see them every week. Why? Why do you have to see them every week? What's your problem? That's my question. Like, why do you have to see them every week? Are you obsessed with them? Are they the prize in the relationship or what? Like, are you the pygmisha? Are they the prize? That's my question. I don't have to see somebody all the time. They got to want to see me. That's what makes me valuable. You see? If you have no valuable because you got to see them, and if you're not valuable because you got to see them, you can't go with no contact. You're not the prize. You're the pygmisha. So decide which one you're going to be. You're going to be the prize or the pygmisha. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you can't be both. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You cannot be both. You said no friends, it's hard for you to detach. Well, attach to yourself, attach to some business, attach to an idea, attach to a glow up. Okay? Attach to a goal. You don't need people to attach to. That's get you an emotional support animal. Get you an emotional support animal and attach to that and attach to some business. Okay? Attach to a glow up. Attach to a hobby. Attach to starting something. You know what I'm saying? Attached to some money. Exactly. Y'all are doing too much. Why do y'all need that? Like, you're saying that you lack something within and you need someone else there in order to fulfill an emotional void. Now, it's okay to have a companion, but that companion has to be beneficial to you. And if they're not beneficial to you, then it's just an emotional support animal. And you could just go get one of those and adopt one. You know what I'm saying? You can go adopt a pet at any place and take it anywhere. As long as you tell them it's my emotional support animal, they'll let you take that cat, dog, whatever it is, wherever you go. Okay. So if you can't stand being alone, if you have a void within, if you have an emotional dependency, go get you an emotional support animal and move on and detach from some dusty that can't do anything for you. Okay. When you share your success, others feel the need to bring up their success. Why are they insecure and want to dim my light? I think they lie to be relevant. Thank you, Melanie Slay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I think a lot of people are just trying to find common ground to continue the conversation, or they're trying to let you also know that they are successful and you are among successful people, even if they're lying. And some people do it for that very reason that you say, they want to compete, whatever. So understand that no matter what, people are going to bring up their success if they're trying to find something in common to talk about. Or, sometimes people that are aware of this type of situation will let you speak about it, but they have to be aware of it. A lot of people aren't aware of it. So they have to actually be aware that you're talking about your success and that you want to shine, and that they don't need to, talk about what they have in common with your success. So very few people understand that. Very few. Because, and some people may feel like they're just keeping the conversation going by talking about something that y'all have in common. So just understand that if you need to shine that bad without people interrupting you, then post it online. Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right. Like I'm just saying, post it online and nobody's going to say nothing but congratulations. Okay. Thank you, Scarlett Jones. Your husband is a generous provider, but recently connected. Hold on. With his old friends who is super dusty. Can I do anything proactive to this concern? Just call his friend Dusty. So people gonna think you dusty if you start hanging around with a dusty, right? Sprinkle, sprinkle. You're gonna be dusty by dusty association. Don't do it. Don't hang around no dust. Just call his friend Dusty and tell him people are gonna think he's dusty for hanging out with him. Maybe he'll hang out with him less. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yes, if you want to shine, just post your achievements online and your success online. More people that don't know you, who are strangers, will be happier for you, and they won't try to talk about or feel the obligation to talk about anything that may or may not have interest. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay, so a lot of y'all that need to learn how to move on and detach. A lot of people become very successful after certain things like a breakup or detaching from, somebody, because they put all that energy and focus on something that is definitely beneficial. When all that energy and focus was going on something that wasn't good for you or that wasn't beneficial. So now you have all this extra time and energy to put towards yourself. And so that needs to show, that needs to be done, because a lot of y'all still put energy into someone that don't even want you, still putting your thoughts in a direction that no one wants you, still thinking about the past, even though you're not there. When all that energy could be put into your glow up, your next business, your ideas, your freestyling, travel plans or whatever, making yourself better so that when you meet the next person, you're not the same person. You're an updated, upgraded version. If you don't work on your upgrades in between or while or during, if you don't work on your upgrades, you're going to keep attracting the same crap that you're going to have to detach from once again because you don't get it. You don't get it. Thank you, Kiara. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thanks for being a member. So if you're not taking that energy and time to glow up, but only to look back and be a pygmisha, that's exactly what you're putting your energy back into: bad relationships and being a pygmisha. And that's what you're going to attract. Okay? You're going to attract bad relationships and pygmisha ways if you can't get over them or past them. So you need to figure out who you want to be in the next 4 to 3 months and become that woman. Focus on that. Focus on the new and improved, upgraded version of yourself versus what is no longer there. Okay? And once you put that energy into yourself, you're going to literally be leveled up out of that person's league who you were over there being upset about. You're literally going to be too good for them after a certain amount of time. Why? Because you put all that energy and focus back on yourself. And now you've leveled up out of their league. Sprinkle, sprinkle. It's not hard to become an improved woman if you work on it every single day. Okay? If it was your job and you got paid to be an improved woman, you would sure do it. Because some of y'all show up at people's jobs doing the most work, getting the least amount of money, but you show up every day and improving your work skills. Do it to yourself. Do that to yourself. You daydream a lot, escaping from your reality. How to quit? By making your life your reality that you don't want to escape from. Work on that. Goals. What to do if man told you I come off as masculine, very direct? He said I was very beautiful, but it felt like he was talking to one of his guy friends. It means you probably use, I don't know, do you use a lot of slang, a lot of curse words? Are you very loud? Do you call him bro? You know what I mean? Are you feminine and demure? Do you speak to him as if you're a girl and he's a boy? So a lot of times women are too masculine because of the way that they speak and their demeanor. You know, that's why I tell women, don't use curse words, don't call people bra, don't use a lot of slang, and smile. And your volume of your voice is very important. If it's too loud, it's masculine. So tone down your voice, speak in a calmer nature. Don't use curse words, don't use slang. That will make it feminine very quickly. If you're used to being animated and screaming and talking and cursing, that's very masculine. So that's not your personality. It's literally masculine traits. Loud. Men's voice are naturally loud. Cursing. Most men are known to be more vulgar and, unladylike. Cursing is literally unladylike. It literally is. Okay. Being loud is unladylike. Using a lot of slang is also, slang, unladylike. You have think of being demure. Think of being sultry. Think of being calm. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yes, joking around a lot in the beginning of getting to know a man does come off as masculine. Um, hmm if it's trying too hard to make them laugh, it does come off masculine. If you have a natural, if you're naturally humorous, it's going to come out in a more feminine way. But if you're trying too hard to make people laugh and waiting for the laugh to come, that's kind of masculine. You know what I mean? So, for example, if you're out on a date and you're talking and you're trying to make them laugh, that's kind of masculine. If they're talking to you and your response just happens to be funny, that's different. You know what I mean? Hmm. Yeah, it's annoying. When you're around your friends and family, you're a different way. But when you're around a guy, you can be yourself later on, but if they're not attracted to that type of personality, a more masculine type of personality on a woman, they're not going to be attracted to it ever. You know what I mean? So that's why it's important. If that's not who you are naturally and you know you're not going to be able to change, then he's probably not going to be the type of guy for you. You know, that's not going to be your guy. Because if that is the type of woman that he does not find attractive as far as a partner to be with, he's not going to stay for long anyway. Okay. It's hard, but you got to do it if that's what you're looking for. If that's what you're trying to attract, then you need to adjust. If that's not what you're trying to attract, then continue to be yourself and maybe attract someone that likes you for who you are. But either way, it's up to you. I always say, whatever you're trying to attract, that's what you need to become. Act like whatever you know that they're attracted to. But if you're not trying to attract that person, just be who you are and attract who likes you. Hmm. You said three men fell in love with you. You're only 21. They like your personality. Ma'am, you're 21. How many cars and houses do you have in your name that they bought you, though? Men falling in love does not mean they tell you they love you and take you to Cheesecake Factory. It means they're investing in you heavily, buying properties, houses, cars, lifestyle. Okay. It doesn't mean they love bomb you and tell you that they love you, because you're only 21, and I know that y'all think love is holding hands and being seen in public and being claimed, but that's not love, baby. Love is when you no longer have to clock in and deal with anybody else. Love is when somebody takes you fully off the market. Love is when somebody loves you enough to totally provide for you. So people may love to hang out with you. They may love your company, but that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? When a person falls in love with you and wants to take you to the next level, that's different. And when a man wants to take a wife, or when a man wants to take a long time, girlfriend, he has to introduce her to all these people. She has to fit into his circle. She has to be able to meet his colleagues and his family. And he has to picture her as the mother of his children. So it's very different than just hanging out with somebody, going to Cheesecake Factory every once in a while. It's not the same thing. Okay. So I feel like a lot of y'all don't know what love is, or in love. They might have been in lust, but they probably weren't in love if you don't have a lot to show for that. You know, a lot of women understand this. I knew a lot of women who were had a very bright personality, extreme personality. But when they found the man that had the money and that they wanted, and that man wanted a feminine woman, they totally transformed. And you'll see it. You'll see a lot of people that used to be wild and be out there, and now there's somebody's soccer mom with, a cardigan on, driving their Range Rover, not all screaming and cursing out everybody in the street, or telling jokes everywhere, or being obnoxious. You know what I mean? They toned it down for the lifestyle. You can't be a certain way forever. You got to figure out what you want, and that's the direction you go in. People change throughout their lives. There's levels to it. You'll always be that person, but in order to achieve or get what you want out of life, from or attract the type of man that you want, not doing this just to attract a man, but the type of man you want may not want that type of, personality when it comes to representing him, or, as the mother of his child. They don't want nobody crazy. So a lot of times you're going to have to tone it down. Find another way to express yourself. Mm-hmm. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. You said tone it down for the lifestyle girl. Yes. People got to tone, like, y'all remember the movie Pretty Woman with Richard Gere and Julia Roberts, and how she was when she first met him, and then she had to level up, become more classy, tone it down, put on the right clothes for the right occasion, have some manners, learn how to eat. Like, that's the same thing. If you want to be into a certain lifestyle, or welcomed into a certain circle, you gotta switch it up a little bit, or a lot of it. Okay, your son's father wants to upgrade your apartment lifestyle before you asking me to contribute in order. So what to do? I don't pay right now. Homeschooling also. Okay, so that's where it begins, ma'am. Don't ever pay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Say no, thank you. We're good here. Until you can afford to level us up, we're good here. Say that. Otherwise, you would go get your own apartment. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna have to pay for something, say no. We're good as is, unless you want to go get a second job. Okay. Never, never let them talk you out of staying at home unless you want to go. If you don't want to go, tell him to pick up some extra hours. Tell him to work some overtime. Tell him to get a second job. Tell him to find a side hustle. That's not your responsibility. And you homeschooling? Who gonna teach the kids? You're gonna send them to school so you go work because he can't afford to upgrade on an apartment? Man, your priorities are out of order. Tell him to go get a second job. He has one job to do. You have several. You're a mother. You're trying to teach your kids. All he got to do is pick up some extra hours or a second job. He can do it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's what men are built for, to work harder, work more. That's why they have bigger muscles. That's why they're bigger than us. That's why their stamina is longer than ours, because they're able to do that. So send them on out. Second job or more hours. Sprinkle, sprinkle. How should you ask for a gift on the second date? Ask before the second date so you can get it on the second date. On the text, on the phone. Tell them what you like. Make sure it's not something major, but something that's still kind of expensive, like perfume, or something that you might have broke while you were on the phone with him, or lost. Like on the first date, lose a fake earring that looks like a real diamond. Pretend you lost it. Maybe you'll have some real diamonds on the second date. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. Mm-hmm. You said y'all live together, but you caught him texting other women, but says it's nothing going on. Move on. Ma'am, let me tell you a secret. During, while, and after, men are always going to be looking at other women, texting other women, and liking other people's pictures on Instagram, especially if they're decent looking. Now, if they're ugly, they may not have that problem. But if they're decent looking, you're always going to have that problem. Get used to it, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I try to tell y'all. Y'all never listen to me. Is he decent looking, ma'am? That he's always going to be doing that. Sprinkle, sprinkle. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to change the type of man that you're going to deal with in the future, or are you just going to accept that? Yes, Lauren says you can also text other people too. You said not really. He's ugly? Okay. Well, why don't you text somebody rich, ma'am? Like, I'm sure you'll have better luck if you started communicating with other people than he's having. You know what I mean? Like, when men and women never realize that the woman, if she looks good or decent, she's always going to have more options than the man. If she decides to do what the man is going to do, as far as texting or liking other people on Instagram or following other people or talking or responding to DMs, the woman is always going to have the higher advantage, the better advantage to whoever she deals with. Because first of all, most men will have to pay for dates, and they're going to chase that woman and try to impress her. So the woman will always come out on top as far as if she decides to deal with other people outside of the relationship than a man would, because he has to fork over money. And most of the time, people are just trying to get his money and not him. So I don't know why y'all get mad about that. Some of these women just trying to get their money too. But at the same time, if they're not all that, and if they're not paying all your bills, and they're not doing this and that, and they're texting other women, then you need to be having a little roster as well, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Where is your roster? Where are your side roster pieces that have money? You know. We have broken up like 5 times. Do you think we can be soulmates? I know. I think y'all are just stupid and in a cycle. A stupid cycle. Okay. Is he paying bills? I think y'all are in a stupid cycle and y'all don't want to let go, because men are possessive and they'd rather you stay with them and be miserable. And women are attached and emotionally dependent on people. So instead of getting to know someone different, they'd rather stay with the crap that they know. So I'm going to tell you, just in a stupid cycle. That's all. You're not soulmates, because if you were, you wouldn't have broken up 5 times. Sprinkle, sprinkle. And I don't even believe in soulmates. That's a term of endearment. It's not a real thing. What is your biggest tip to detach emotionally when he is disrespectful, insults, and tries to argue with you? I'm trying to practice removing emotion. Just say, I'm tired of talking. I gotta go run some errands. Get dressed and leave. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I'm tired of talking. I gotta get dressed. I gotta go. I'm late for something. I have an appointment. Then get out of the house. Can't argue if you ain't there. If it's late at night, then tell them you got an appointment early in the morning. You got to go to bed. Go do your skincare routine. Go take a shower. Put a mask on. Put your earphones on. Your headphones, your earbuds. Tell them you're listening to an audiobook, whatever. But you have to like separate yourself with some type of barrier, whether it's leaving, whether it's self-care routine, whether it's listening to an audiobook or preparing for something the next day. You just busy yourself. Okay. Or you can just call your mom on speakerphone. And I think he'll just go away after that point. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Very easy to do. Put an obstacle in their path from arguing. Mm-hmm. 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 You said we're young and he doesn't work yet, but he tries to do a lot for me. So you're young, you already believe in a soulmate. He tries to do a lot for you. So you're working with pure potential, no money, and a false sense of relationship when it comes to a soulmate. Okay, so I know you young, baby. Let me tell you something. When you get to about 25, 26, you're not going to want that type of person. You're going to want someone that is standing on business, doing what they need to do. You're going to be ready to move forward in life, maybe thinking about marriage or at least a long-term relationship. Okay, don't settle for someone that can't do nothing for themselves, because they definitely can't do nothing for you. Okay, that's your little puppy love. You know, when you get a little bit older, that's not going to be a permanent thing. You're going to have to let that go, right? You're going to have to start focusing seriously on life. And some people aren't meant to go to that next level with you. Okay, some people are just meant to be high school sweethearts. Some people are just meant to be college sweethearts. They're not supposed to keep moving up there with you if they're not able to benefit you in any way. Because sometimes people forget this and then they start to get dragged down by someone whose potential isn't as high as theirs. And if their potential isn't as high as yours and you keep trying to drag them along, you're going to have issues. You know what I mean? So sometimes just letting go is necessary for you to grow. It's like a butterfly in a cocoon. Okay. You got to let go of the old life in order to get to the new life. You got to let go of the shell on the cocoon and the comforts of crawling on the ground in order to fly. Okay. You can't keep dealing with the past. You can't keep dealing with people that are non-beneficial. Y'all aren't the same. And the faster y'all learn this, the faster y'all will level up out of dust, out of bad relationships. Okay. Leave them where they belong. If they were meant to be with you, they would be doing all the things to meet your standards. Sprinkle, sprinkle. If they were meant for you and they wanted you, they would meet the standards that you have. If they can't meet them standards, if they lost your trust because you gave it blindly, well, next time, never give your trust blindly. Understand what you're getting into before you get into it. Understand human nature. Understand how people are. Don't expect someone to be a perfect version of what nobody ever is. Expect them to be who they are. Understand that and make sure you're benefiting from it. That's the best you could do. Sprinkle, sprinkle. And not getting attached right away is the smartest thing you can ever do. Because I always tell y'all, if they're not attaching financially to you, if they're not paying all your bills, if they're not making sure that you are financially secure and safe, then you should never emotionally attach to them at all. Because they don't even like you enough to make sure that you're financially secure when they're claiming you. Okay. So I wouldn't even attach emotionally to someone that couldn't attach to me and provide. It's just a waste of time. Sprinkle, sprinkle. He said he cheated on you while you was aborting your child. How to get revenge? Break up with him and get a man with more money. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's the best revenge. Money. Always. Leave and go get money with another man. And this time, use protection and contraceptives. Unless he's super rich, then have his baby. But first, try to get the ring, okay? Get the ring first. The best revenge is moving on to someone way better, always. And if you can't move on to something way better, then just get your own money. Best revenge is always paper, whether it's yours or yours or somebody else with money that you can flex with. Okay, and you can get paid too, man. How to deal with a past dusty who refuses to leave you alone, then insults whenever he sees me in front of his friends. Act like you don't know who he is. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Say, you know what? You are a great actress. You can act like you do not know who this man is. You're like, sir, I don't know who you are. I don't know who you think I am or look like. I've never even talked to you before. You can really get into your character and dismiss him. If you don't leave me alone, I'm gonna have to call the police. That's what you just tell him. You act like you don't even know who he is. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. Get your extra proper voice on. Sir, I don't know who you are. I have no idea. Please leave me alone before I call the police. That'll be that, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. And stop hanging around on the dusty side of town and you won't run into dusties. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You shouldn't be running into him no more, ma'am. If he's dusty, he's not going to be on the rich side of town. What you doing? You need to go hang out where the rich men are. You won't run into your dusty no more. He ain't going to be over there. He probably ain't got no car, no gas money to get over there or nothing. So go hang out on the rich side of town and you'll never run into him again. Mm-hmm. You always tell a man when he acts up, I don't know you, but I know your wallet. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said that's painful. Find my engaged on Facebook. So stressed out. Girl, man. Look, let me tell y'all something. The best way to get over looking at someone else move on in their relationship is to if you don't want to see what they're doing on their social medias, then unfollow them or block them if you don't want to see them. Okay, that's totally up to you. If you want to see them, then keep looking. Do that. I once I'm done, I'm done. I'm that type of person. Okay, I'm literally done. I really don't care what you're doing. You literally are. Might as well be dead. You know what I'm saying? When I'm done, I'm done. Y'all need to be the same way. When you're done, you need to be done. Done, done. Okay. Just don't look back. Who cares? Ain't nothing back there for you. If it was, you'd be there. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's literally like looking in the garbage, digging around in the trash for something you threw away, or somebody threw you away, trying to climb out the garbage. It's the same thing. Just let it be. Let's let it go. Let the trash pick it up and move on. Okay? Let the trash man pick it up and move on. Get on to the next. Live your life. When you're dating a rich man, but he slept with multiple women, when we fight, he always said that he don't like me. What do I do? Should I leave him? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Um, when people are arguing and fighting, they're just going to tell you whatever triggers you or hurts you. So, I mean, it could be true somewhat. You might, I don't know. A lot of people just deal with people because they're available. So what I would do is find a way to get some money, like ask him to pay for something, or fine, you don't like me, then you pay for me an apartment for me to move or whatever. But at the same time, if he didn't like you, he wouldn't be there paying for you. So he liked you enough to pay for you. That's good enough. Also, He's rich. He's going to sleep with other women regardless of what you want him to do or not. If you were married, you'd have a little bit more power legally. So I don't know what to tell you. You ain't married. He's just rich. He could tell you whatever he want and do whatever he wants. So my suggestion is you level up to the best you can look and you start dating other men. And maybe you can replace him with someone nicer and richer. Sprinkle, sprinkle. He doesn't have to know about it. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. He said that's a dusty pretending to be a woman. Oh well. Okay. How to not give side chick energy. Have goals and focus on whatever your goals are. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell y'all something. If being a side chick is not beneficial to you or your business or your bank account or anything, then who cares about side chick energy? Where's your money energy? Where are you stacking? Like, why are you there? As long as you're stacking your money, that's money energy. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. If you ain't getting no money, then you do have side chick energy. But you ain't if you're not collecting money. Yes, you do. The best way to get rid of side chick energy is to get money energy. Get him to give you some money for being the side chick. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Detach from a label, detach from emotion, detach from all those things, and attach to some money. Okay. That's how you move on. That's how you get it. That's how you start to thrive. That's how your bank account grows. That's how you glow up. Hmm. And then if you ever decide to be in a relationship again, you know better the next time not to trust blindly. You know, you can still be friendly and nice, but you never trust 100% blindly. You never expect people to be perfect, and you understand why you're there. And it should be definitely beneficial. Okay, always. You'll move smarter in the future if you learn how to move on and detach from your past dusty relationships or whatever relationships you're in. And the next time you decide to get in a relationship, you'll know exactly what you need to do in order to, benefit from it in every way. Okay. Sometimes you're in practice relationships. Sometimes you're just in a relationship for a little while. Not everything is supposed to be permanent. Okay. Not everything is supposed to be permanent. It doesn't make you any less of a woman or less of a man to not stay somewhere that's not beneficial to you. So if it's not beneficial, it's time to move on. Right? All right. You said you want a man who can run after you no matter how angry he is. Okay, you want to be in a horror movie, ma'am? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Girl, Michael Myers, Jason, Freddy Krueger. Yes. Which one you like? Ma'am, first of all, you don't want a man running after you if he's angry. That's number one. Believe me, take my word for it. You don't want a man running after you no matter how angry he is. Because he might be running after you for the wrong reason and you don't want to find out. Right? So I would definitely not say that. I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to say you want a man who will always fight for you and fight to keep you to be his woman, no matter how angry or bad things get. That's what you're trying to say. But if his actions that you require him to do or the way that you require him to be doesn't change, he can chase after you all you want. But if he's not going to change, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? See, some of y'all want to, I want to work things out. But if he knows that he can always just say, okay, well, no matter what, I'm always going to want you, that he can still continue the bad behavior because that's the only thing that you're interested in is that no matter what, he still tries to fight for the relationship. Okay. Some dusties know and some men know that fake fighting for a relationship in order to continue a cycle that will never get you anywhere is also a thing. So I would definitely say if he's not fighting to impress you in the relationship, then, that's a whole different story. They don't need to be fighting for a relationship that might not even be worth having. He needs to be fighting to impress you in the relationship. He needs to be doing that, not fighting just to keep you in a cycle. Or men are like, they would rather you be with them than to be with anybody else, even if they're not going to do anything for you. So make sure if y'all have an argument, he's there to impress you and improve instead of put you back in the same, position the next time. Like, if it's not improving or if it's not beneficial, there's no reason for you to be there. So attach from the idea. Okay? Attach from the idea of being with someone that's not doing anything for you or that's not healthy or beneficial. That's just what you do. Because a lot of times y'all just stay there, just say y'all got somebody. Y'all can lie and say y'all got somebody. I could literally lie and say that. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Mm-hmm. Okay, what? Yes, y'all are attaching to the fantasy, not the person. Exactly. Is it just me? Why can I only purchase 199 chat? I don't know. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I have no idea how this is working now. I couldn't tell you. Ask someone who is able to do more. I have no idea. Okay. Let me read some of these questions now. I can't stay on long like I normally do, like for hours and hours. I do have to leave in about 30 minutes because I have an appointment and some errands to run. You said, how do you stop fantasizing? Start looking at the reality for what it is. If he's not paying bills, if he's not doing all the stuff you need him to do, why are you attached to him anyway? You're attached to the potential that he might want to do it in the future, and he probably not. Attached to his actions, not to the fantasy. Attached to what he's showing you. Attached to the idea that he may never be able to be a provider, and then you'll be able to detach quickly. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Anyway, sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you, Miss Danielle. I appreciate you still for trying. I do appreciate you. So, yeah, attach to what you're going to need in your future that he can't do. And then you'll be able to attach to that idea versus what he can't do for you. You'll be able to attach to how you need to improve your life, and he's not going to be in it. You see? So start thinking ahead. Start thinking like this. Okay, this man is not going to be able to do A, B, C, and D for me. I'm not going to get emotionally attached to that because it's just being stupid. Get on a path, have like a goal that you see yourself at. And if that man can't help you get to that goal, why is he there? You know what I'm saying? That man can't contribute to you getting to that goal. He don't even need to be in your life. That's an easy way to detach when you think about it. Okay. So if you see yourself driving a nice luxury car, living in the suburbs, having lunch with your friends or whatever at the age of 30, and that man is nowhere near being able to afford any of that for you, then why are you with him? That's easy to detach from, like, because you have something now to look forward to and you have goals. Why? Because it's easy to detach from someone who is not going to be helpful in your future. It's easy to detach from somebody it's just going to drag you down and keep you from your goals and keep you and try, like, when all your other peers, friends, co-workers are moving forward in their lives, you're still going to be stuck with some dust. No, think about that. You're supposed to be moving forward all the time, not staying the same and not dealing with no dust. So easily detach from the idea of a man doing what he's not doing. Okay. Mm-hmm. Could you give me the advice to get provider man? You're 19. Okay. I would say focus on your whatever you're doing right now. You're not even old enough to drink yet, and I don't know where you're from, but if you're from the U.S., no one's going to really be able to take you anywhere if you're not even old enough to drink. So use those 2 years to level up, glow up, look your best, get your wardrobe and outfits and hair and nails and makeup together, get your game together, watch my videos. When you turn 21, you could probably, be able to pull a lot of guys with money because you'll be able to go to a lot more places. But in the meantime, whoever you're dating, they need to know that you don't reach in your pocket, you don't go 50-50, don't get pregnant. And, if they're dusty, dismiss them. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. If they're dusty, dismiss them, baby. Mm-hmm. How to attract? I don't even know who that is, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay, sir, ma'am. Thank you. Your advice. You're losing weight and leveling up. Okay, great, wonderful. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Does height matter in a woman? As long as you look good for your height, ma'am. Some guys like short women. Some guys like tall women. As long as you're proportionate, I guess that's what people like. Okay. So, wear heels. Wear heels. Get you some high heels. If you're super short. Should you lie about your age if you look younger? It doesn't matter. If they're older, you're whatever age you're going to lie about being. Now, if you're 30s and you're trying to say you're in your 20s and you want 30-year-old stuff, they're going to figure it out. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You know what I mean? Like if you're 37 and you're trying to say you're 27 and you're trying to rush to have a baby because you want, your clock is ticking, they're going to be suspicious because 27s, they're trying to get married, not they're trying to get married first to get a house. You know what I mean? So if you're going to lie, maybe like make sure it doesn't matter. Like, oh, I'm 25. I'm going to say I'm 23. None of that stuff matters. A few years don't even matter. And the fact that y'all think it matters is silly to me. Okay. If you're trying to stay in your 20s because you think more men will like you versus in your 30s, that's fine. But don't ask for 30-year-old stuff. You know what I mean? Because they'll figure it out. Okay. Rich, stingy, divorced, got gifted on your birthday. If you ask for anything, he gives me excuses. I don't know how to play the game. That's because you don't have more than one. Sprinkle, sprinkle. The best way to play the game is have more than one man. You got one man, he's stingy, he gave you a gift on your birthday. Great. Now where's the other two on your roster? That's where you went wrong. You're playing the game with not enough players. Where's the other ones? Other ones. Add two to the roster. Add two more guys. You don't have to sleep with them. You just need to date them. They need to be ugly or old, and you need to keep getting the gifts and money. Okay? Sprinkle, sprinkle. If you're busy with those other guys, he'll think you're busy in life. He doesn't have to know about them. He might want more attention, so he might want to give you and do more for you because he's not the only one. Now your time is spread between other people, and now he's low on the priority list, just like he's low on the priority list of his ex-wife. You know what I'm saying? Sprinkle, sprinkle. And if he just got divorced and now you're losing interest in him, then he's really going to be distraught, wondering where you are, why you're not answering your phone. You know what I'm saying? So have other men to focus on if the one that you're dealing with is not treating you accordingly or not giving you the type of money that you need to get. Have some other guys that you also are able to get money from and just dating. Okay. What do I think about same age lovers? As long as the man got some money, sprinkle, sprinkle. I don't care, but I don't know how that's going to turn out in the long run. But as long as you're not laying down with anything broke, that's all that matters. And I mean, if you get pregnant or something like that, he's able to take care of you without the struggle. When I say as long as he's not broke, I mean, as long as he can afford the lifestyle that you want. If you should ever get pregnant by whoever you're dealing with, they have to have enough money to support you. If they can't support you, don't lay down with them. That's a big rule. You're 21. You was in a situationship with a rich man. 41. He was stingy, gave nothing, treated you back, gave too much, lost yourself, leveled down. Okay. He was too young anyway, man. Sprinkle, sprinkle. A 41-year-old dating a 21-year-old can impress women his own age. He cannot. He was cheap. He was broke. He was probably a late starter in life and is probably not able to do the most. A lot of times they're fronting that they're rich at 41, or they just got their money, so they don't want to spend it. You know what I'm saying? So you need to understand that man could not impress women his own age. So he tried to groom you and impress a young woman by doing nothing for you. It was not your fault. You just didn't find my channel fast enough. So I'll tell you now, anybody that's dealing with you with a large age gap can't impress women their own age. Therefore, you need to understand that in your 20s, they're supposed to be giving you money. If they're not, you don't supposed to be with them, period. That is the number one rule. If you're 21 right now, any man that's 10 years plus older than you, they're supposed to be giving you money, or they're not supposed to be with you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay, that is the rule. They think you're young, dumb, and naive, and don't know how to ask for money. Don't know what you're worth. Don't know that that they can't impress women their own age or afford women their own age. Ma'am, get money. Every man you talk to that's 10 years plus older than you needs to be paying some sort of bill, taking you shopping, and buying you gifts. Otherwise, if you date men your own age, great. But if you're going to date anybody older, they need to be doing the most. Okay? As a 21-year-old, you don't need to be paying no bills if you're sitting up there with a grown, able-bodied man way older than you. Okay? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Best thing you can do is just go get another one that knows your value, and you know your own value now. Now you know your own value. So go get another one with more money. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. If you're look, 21-year-olds, if y'all are ugly, I know why y'all don't want to ask for money. But if y'all look decent, just ask. You're 21. I keep trying to tell y'all this. If y'all are dealing with old men, just ask. They think y'all are stupid. I'm trying to help y'all. If you're 21 and you dating anybody in their 30s or 40s, ask for the money straight up. Why? Because you're being groomed. They think you're stupid. They're waiting on you to figure out what they're doing. And they still know that y'all are stupid enough not to figure it out. If you 21 and you sitting across from anything in their 30s or 40s, get money. Ask for money all day, every day. Go shopping. Ask for credit cards. Ask for cash apps. Ask for Zelle. Okay, y'all are stupid. Y'all are up here trying to look grown, and they are taking advantage of you for your naivete. Y'all shouldn't up here. I'm embarrassed to ask for money. Or how do I ask for money? Ma'am, you're 21. Tell them you're 21. I'm 21. Give me money. That's all you need to do. I'm 21. Give me money. That's it. That's how you ask. All right? Y'all stop asking me dumb questions. Because when I was 21, I was asking everybody for money, period. With no shame, because I'm 21. I can do that. I can go anywhere. I'm 21. Give me some money. Wasn't even my birthday. I put money right here. You know how I used to do in the club back in the old days? You pin $1, I pin $10 on you. It wasn't even my birthday, but I come out with money every day. I'm 21. Give me money. You know? Y'all up here sitting trying to pretend like y'all ain't in y'all's 20s and that y'all are grown and y'all are too embarrassed to ask a grown man trying to groom you who can't impress women his own age. Y'all are afraid to ask him for the money that he is prepared to spend. What's wrong with y'all? I'm asking for money from everybody at 21. You in my path, I'm asking you for money at 21. I'm 21. I'm supposed to need money. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. I'm going to ask everybody for money at 21. What are y'all doing? 21. I'm 21. Give me money. I'm 21. It's my birthday. I'm 21. Buy me a drink. I'm 21. Take me shopping. That's what y'all. That's the attitude y'all need to have, because y'all are acting like y'all are 40 and 30 years old already at 21, afraid to ask people for money. They're gonna tell you no, ma'am. If that man is 10 years older than you, he's supposed to say yes to everything you say. It's at 21. Okay, what are y'all doing? I'm asking everybody. I'm asking everybody. Give me some money. Okay, if you're 31, then you need to be dating somebody like 20 years older than you. They'll give you money. Okay, 21, get money. You gonna ask your mama for some money? You gonna ask whoever sitting up across the table chewing food across for you for some money? You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're in your early 20s. What about 24, ma'am? 21 is 24. Just get money. Y'all are dumb. I said in your entire 20s you can get money if you're dating way older men. Okay? If you look ugly and you look old, you might have to think twice about asking anybody for anything. You need to get your level up on first before you ask for anything. Okay? See, this is what I'm talking about. 21 and 24 are the same thing. You know what? Thank you, Tanya Sweet. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Except you know more at 24 than you did at 21. But still, you need to be getting stuff paid for. Period. Yeah, you can ask for money at any age, but it needs to be done in a more tactful way at certain ages. But when you're 21, you can just straight up ask, especially if the dude is older. That's what I did. That's how I got everything I got. I was not afraid. I knew my value. Okay, you're 21, married at 37, and he died 4 years later. You got pension from the military now. Good for you, ma'am. You free. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Have fun, Gigi. Wonderful. I mean, my condolences, sorrows, sorrows, prayers. I don't know if you liked them or not. That's why I can't tell how you commented. I couldn't tell. I'm sorry. I was just trying to celebrate with you. Okay. So, sprinkle, sprinkle. Yeah, that's how I got what I got. At 21, I just demanded what I wanted, and they gave it. It's like, this is what I want. If you can't do it, get out of my face. I'm 21. I didn't sit around and make excuses and say, well, if you ain't got it, move. Somebody else got it. If you're 21 and wasting time with a man that's not giving you money, you're missing your opportunity that you may meet somebody that will fully provide for you. So I'm just telling y'all, don't waste time with no dust. You might miss the person that wants to really do more for you. Okay. I just tell people I like money. Well, what are your interests? I love money. I really like money. I love shopping. I come off as the most shallowest type of gold digger when you asking me dumb questions. I like money. I like shopping. I like to travel. I'm naming all the stuff that costs money. If they want to get up and walk away, that's their chance. They want to stay and find out more. Great. They know what I like. They know how to impress me. That's what they're going to use to impress me. So that's just it. I'm very straightforward. I don't really care. I already have what I need in my life. If you here to benefit. That's it. That's my attitude as a woman my age. You know what I mean? You're 41, he's 66. You're what? Listening to me while sending him links. Okay, ma'am, get your links paid for. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. The confidence that you could have if you have several men on your roster or lots of money in your bank account is different from a woman that's giving off desperate energy. So when you say what you like, when you say what you're interested in, either they have to comply or they have to remove themselves. But either way, you ain't got time to waste. Next. That's how it has to be. Met a man who is a provider that then found out he is married. He doesn't know that I know how to take advantage of the situation. Start asking him for stuff and pretend like you're getting ready to bust him. It's like, you know what? The other day I was thinking, I never even did I don't really know you that well. I never did a background check on you or anything, but somehow I just trust you. But right now I really need some, to go shopping or some money or whatever. And so in order to deter you from looking too much into him, he's going to go ahead and give you what you want. So he can buy that trust, that fake trust. And then later on, when you want something major, and he's gotten all attached to you, then you can bust him and get what you want. Okay. But right now, only hint around about it and make him try to distract you with whatever it is you're asking for. Can you get meal ideas for fast weight loss and how to look eye-catching as a plus-size woman in the meantime? I like to order Factor. It's like chef-made, prepared meals that they deliver to you, and you just keep them in your fridge, and you just take it out and warm it up. It's never like, it's not frozen food. It's like freshly chef-prepared meals, and you can order it through Factor, and those are easy. You ain't got to cook, and they're not, unhealthy. So I would definitely go for Factor. They deliver every week. So sprinkle. How to emotionally detach from your rich man who invested you but tricks on other girls sometimes. I charge for forgiveness fees, but caught him and still annoys me. Okay. You're going to keep catching him because he's rich. Why isn't he catching you? I mean, why don't you have some business? You know what I'm saying? Why aren't you out shopping and having fun? You're not going to ever be the only one. This is something that you're going to have to realize. You're never going to be the only one. If you're in it for him, you're in it for him. If you're in it for his money, stay in it for his money, or get out if you're in it for him, because you're going to have to detach the difference. You're going to have to understand the difference. Are you with his money, or are you with him? You're going to have to figure this out, man. Sprinkle. I know plenty of women that aren't with their husband, but are with their husband's money. You need to figure out which one it is. If you're with a man, you need to figure out if you're with him or with his money. This is how you detach. Because if you're just with his money, then you're going to have other focuses and other things and other priorities. And you're not going to care what he's doing as long as that direct deposit hit. So you need to figure that out. You need to ask yourself some serious questions. Are you with him or are you with his money? Early 30s, used to want marriage, now you don't want. You have one kid and a baby dad who doesn't provide as much and as you want. Okay, you want a roster, but I don't know where to start. You need to start by leveling up your looks all the way as much as you possibly can, hanging out on the rich side of town after your kids are in school, making sure your baby daddy is on child support, and going from there. Okay, you can hang out during the day while your kids are in school. Until then, focus on your glow up. Okay, focus on your glow up until then. Sprinkle. You have a rich provider, but out of nowhere, he's been controlling me emotionally. How do I deal with this? By having a roster. Sprinkle. No one can control you emotionally. If you have one and two, you're going to be like, well, boy, whatever. I go to the other one. I don't care. I don't need you. I don't need to attach to you emotionally. You have more than one. You have more than one focus, or you focus on yourself, or you focus on a hobby. But if you're attached or he's trying to control you emotionally, it's because he is able to, because you're not detached emotionally. So you need to detach emotionally by attaching to something else. Okay. You need to have more than one. Sprinkle. This is the problem with women. Y'all are sucked into relationships emotionally and, tricked because you don't have another man to attach to or to distract you with. Some of y'all need another man to distract you with because you don't have a hobby, you ain't got no business, and you ain't got nothing else worthwhile because you're men-centered. Okay. If you love yourself and if you're accepts yourself, you'll never really attach to somebody that's not beneficial to you or that you even like. You know what I mean? So since most of y'all are male centered, you're gonna have to go attached to another man in order to not be so attached to the other one. You're gonna have to just have several because y'all doing too much. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's why I suggest y'all to have a roster because y'all gotta have somebody. And if you can't be happy with that one person, or if that one person is not making you happy and controlling you emotionally, then you need one and two so that you can be like, well, you know what? I'll just go to the other one. Well, you know what? I'll just go to the other one because you don't have to put up with something if you got two and three. And you have to worry about being controlled because you're in control at that point. So just either have multiple men or have multiple whatever it is you need to distract you with. Because if you're attached to that man and that person, that's why you need to attach to something else or several things so that you're not super attached because you're attached all across the board. All right. Sprinkle, sprinkle. What if he makes it obvious that he's messing around but still giving you money? Should you not be concerned? You need, like I said, you need to understand, are you with the man or him or his money? That's when you need to decide right there. When y'all start asking these questions, you need to ask yourself, are you with the man or are you with the money? Because you can separate them by stop caring for the man and only dealing with him for the money. You know what I'm saying? You can totally not care. You can cut him off in the bedroom. You can say, I don't feel like it tonight. You can, because if he's already doing something else with somebody else, then it doesn't even matter. You know, if he wants you in his life or whatever, just attach to his money. Go spend his money. Spend relationship time with his money. Go shopping with his money. Tell his credit card, baby, I love you. You treat me so well. Okay? You either need to attach to him or attach to his money. You can't attach to both because they're not attached to you if they're doing those things to you. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing a thing. They're not attached to you at all if they're doing those things. So you might as well understand. You better choose. If you don't choose correctly, you're gonna suffer. Okay. Oh, somebody sent me some money. Thank you, Rosa Pink. She sent me some money. Thank you. Anyway, I gotta go, y'all. So there are okay. When you go to the rich neighborhood, you're gonna see it. There are a lot of women that's married to their man's money and not their man. Y'all got to figure it out. Y'all got to choose. Are you there for lifestyle and money, or do you want somebody? Do you want the man to act right even though he ain't? Because there's poor people out there who's broke dusty is doing the same thing to them, but they ain't got no money. So y'all got to figure it out. Got to figure it out. Okay. Usually, when men try to be more controlling, it's because they think that you can do better than them, or they're trying to distract you from what they're doing with somebody else. Okay. Just get the money. Don't attach to the man. Attach to the money. Remember, you can stack that money, keep that money, flip that money, grow that money, and get rid of that man at any time. Okay, y'all need to think about it. Detach from the man and attach to the idea of him giving you money. There you go. You will always win. You will always win. Always. And remember, all men, whether broke or rich, are not perfect, and they're going to do what they want. And it's better to be with one that has money than to be with a broke one. So I'll leave y'all with that. It said attached to Ben Frank. Yes, Venus. Now y'all get it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Because no matter what, you're going to see rich, dusty, you're going to see average. They all going to have the same problem. But one that has the most solution, money, that's who you need to be with. All right. I'm going to see y'all later. Bye.